Om. 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 Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai, Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Shruti Smriti Purananam, Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavatpadam, Shankaram Lokashankaram. Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Bhagavad Gita Shankara Bhashyam. I am conducting these sessions as a student for his own learning purpose. I am learning myself. I am referring to few books and I am making some notes and I am making these notes available to you. This exercise helps me in learning this Bhagavad Gita Shankara Bhashyam. I am not a Pandita, I am not a Jnani, I am not a Guru. This is purely an exercise for my own learning. If there are any mistakes in my notes, if there are any mistakes in my understanding, I beg your pardon. The mistakes are not there in the original work. Please consider the mistakes to be mine. Let me share my screen. So we have completed Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, shloka number 11, 12 and 13. So we are in second chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Today we will be covering shloka number 14 and 15. This is as per Shankara Bhashyam. So what did we see in the previous shlokas? About Atma being eternal, there is no death. All those things we have seen. So now comes the next question. So in the connecting thing, Shankara says, see, Arjuna can have an objection to the argument put forth by Krishna. Krishna was saying that Atma is eternal, so there is no need to grieve if the body falls. But Arjuna can argue that he can say, okay, it is agreed that Atma is eternal and not to be grieved about. But my problem is not about death. The problem is that a living being encounters pain and pleasure that will be experienced by the body. I am afraid of pain and pleasure. There is a sorrow and suffering that happens to the body, that pleasure may cease. There is a fear that my pleasant things may come to an end and pain may come. There can be discomfort of coldness and heat. So this is common knowledge. Everybody will undergo this fear of pain and fear of losing some dear ones, losing the pleasures and all. This is a common knowledge for all of us. So it can be argued that, oh, yes, I'm not afraid of death. Death may come anytime. I'm not afraid of that. But there can be some discomfort, problems in life, pain in life, pleasure being taken away. So you can argue that. How do you handle it? So in anticipation of this objection, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying chapter 2, shloka 14. What is that? Chapter 2, shloka 14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino anitya stam stitikshasva bharata. Krishna is saying sense organs and their association with sense objects create duality. Coldness will be there, heat will be there, pain will be there, pleasure will be there, happiness will be there, sorrow will be there. Endure them stoically, because these things, heat and cold, pain and pleasure, they come and go, they are temporary. They doesn't stay permanently. This is what Krishna is saying. What is the teaching? Sense organs and their association with sense objects create coldness, heat, pain, pleasure, happiness and sorrow. Endure them, because they are temporary. They come and go. They doesn't stay permanently. What is the shloka? Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agamapayano nitya stam sthiti kshasva bharata. Matra means what? Matra means those with whose help we listen, see, taste, touch, etc. Meaning what? Sense organs. Which means matra means sense perception organs. Eyes, ears, nose, skin, and taste, tongue. So mouth. So these are the sense organs which are called matra in Sanskrit. Each matra is touched by its associated sense object. For example, eyes, what is the thing that is associated with eyes? It is the form, light and form. What is associated with the ear? It is the sound. What is associated with the nose? It is the smell. What is associated with mouth? Taste, rasa. Similarly, so on and so forth. With the skin, it is touch. So each matra, there is a contact between sensory organ and sensory object. This contact is what is calling as sparsha. Matra and sparsha. Matra sparsha. So this is called matra sparsha. This matra sparsha makes us experience the world. This matra sparsha, through matra sparsha, you will know whether a thing is cold or heat, hot, whether it is tasty or not. Here he has used coldness or heat, you have to apply to all sensory organs. Coldness or heat, taste, whether it is sweet or pungent or hot, anything you will know. Similarly, these cause pairs of opposite as sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain. So, for example, if you eat sweet, it will be sweet. You will know the sweet, and you have an idea that sweet is pleasure. If you eat a chili, it will create hotness, spicily hot in the mouth, and it will cause pain. So, the matra sparsha causes pairs of opposite. Sound, maybe if you listen to a nice music, it will be pleasant. If you listen to a jarring music, it will be unpleasant. So, the matra sparsha causes either pain or pleasure, discomfort or pleasantness. Okay. Matra is touched by Shita Ushna, coldness and heat, and Sukha Dukkha, pleasure and pain. Sometimes coldness gives pain in winter. Sometimes coldness gives pleasure in summer. Sometimes, similarly, heat gives pain in summer and heat gives pleasure in winter. The effect of coldness and heat varies depending on the situation. But the effect of pain and pleasure, sukha and dukkha doesn't interchange. Pain is pain, pleasure is pleasure. Therefore, in this sloka, it was specifically mentioned, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada. Shitoshna, Shita means coldness, Ushna means hotness, and Sukha and Dukkha are mentioned in this sloka separately. The Matra Sparsha, the contact between Matra and Sparsha, Matra and sense objects, sense organs and sense objects, comes and goes. It is not that always you are hot feeling and always you are cold, not like that. These different sukha and dukkha, they come and go. These are temporary in nature. They are anitya. Therefore, bear the coldness and heat. That's what Krishna is saying. Have titiksha, stam titiksha sva bharata. Titiksha, have titiksha. What is titiksha? Ability to bear patiently what is not pleasant to us. It is called titiksha, patience. The ability to withstand is called titiksha. Do not be elated when it is pleasant and do not be depressed when it is pain. This is a very, very important teaching of Bhagavad Gita. This line, what is written here, do not be elated when it is pleasant and do not be depressed when it is pain. This is the central teaching of Sri Krishna. Do not be perturbed by what happens in the world. No matter what happens, do not go to the ups and downs. The mind should be serene and calm. That is the teaching of Sri Krishna. Titiksha means what? Ability to bear what is unpleasant. It is a virtue. Titiksha is a spiritual quality and spiritual discipline. In Viveka Chudamani, which is a book written by Sri Shankaracharya, it is told that a spiritual aspirant should possess the fourfold spiritual treasure. Sadhana Chatushtayam. What is the Sadhana Chatushtayam? Viveka, Vairagya, Sadhana, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshatva. These four are known as Sadhana Chatushtayam. Viveka should be there, what is right and wrong. Vairagya should be there, dispassion should be there. Shat Sampatti, sixfold practices or disciplines should be there. Mumukshatvam, an intense desire for liberation should be there. Titiksha is part of the Shat Sampatti. The six spiritual treasures or disciplines. What are they? Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. If you are interested in knowing about this, please read Viveka Chudamani for a detailed description on the Shat Sampatti. Sloka number 15, Avatarika. Shitoshnadin sahataha kim syat iti shrunu. Meaning, what is the benefit of having titiksha? Why should we bear coldness and heat and pain and pleasure? What is the benefit? Listen to what I say. This is what Krishna is saying. So, sloka number 15. Yam hina vyadhayantyete purusham purushashava samadukka sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpate. Meaning, O best of men, Krishna is saying, the person who is unperturbed by heat and cold and equal towards pain and pleasure, becomes eligible for liberation, moksha. This is a central quality of a spiritual seeker, that he should, with an equanimity, he should weigh both the success and failure, pain and pleasure, happiness and sorrow, gain and loss. Everything should be same for that person. Then that person is spiritually accomplished. And he becomes eligible, that person becomes eligible for moksha, liberation. It is known in this sloka, the word amrutatva is used. Amrutatva means eternal, amruta, nectar, divine nectar, the elixir. This psychology, this mentality of equanimity towards pain and pleasure, success and failure, not being perturbed, is called the elixir of life. This is the elixir. Amruta, it does not mean some drink by angels. Amruta means the mentality, the spiritual fortitude, the equanimity, the understanding that life will be like this, there will be ups and downs, and I will not be disturbed by whatever happens in the world. That is called the Amruta, the nectar. That psychology is called the nectar, elixir, ambrosia. Shankara Bhashyam for 15th sloka. For who the pain and pleasure are equal, who doesn't get depressed upon getting pain and doesn't get overjoyed upon getting pleasure, meaning who has the Shama, Dama, Titiksha, etc. of sadhana sampatti, who is a dhira? Who is a dhira? Who has the right intellect, right understanding in the intellect, spiritually mature, right intellect and understanding. That person is a dhira, meaning who has the right discrimination regarding what is eternal and what is temporary. Nitya, Nitya, Viveka. What is Nitya? Atma is Nitya and world is Anitya. This discrimination has to be there. Who has Vairagya, dispassion towards world, towards sensory pleasures. Such a person is said to have the right understanding about true nature of oneself. The meaning of the word Tvam is known to that person. There is a Mahavakya in Veda called Tattvamasi, which encapsulates the entire teaching of Advaita Vedanta. In that Vakya, the word Tvam, Tvam Padartha is understood by a person if that person has whatever we have discussed, if it is equal towards pain and pleasure, doesn't get depressed upon pain, doesn't get overjoyed upon getting pleasure, who has titiksha, sadhana sampatti, who is a dhira, spiritually mature, right intellect, understanding, who has viveka and vairagya, such a person has true understanding, right understanding about the word tvam. Such a person is capable or eligible for enlightenment or liberation or moksha by understanding the true meaning of Tattvamasi Vakya. The Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, can be understood by that person. Through the right understanding of Tattvamasi, that person is eligible for Amrutatva, moksha, the liberation, the nirvana. Such a person, Jivan Mukti, so liberated by life. Such a person will be able to understand the teaching of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, and that person will be able to get moksha, eligible for moksha. This completes the shloka number 15. Any questions?
No, nothing from my side.
No. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। हरिः ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shivaswarupi, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.